Hey everyone, so thrilled you're here with me today for this explainer. We are diving straight into a concept that's, quite frankly, quietly sitting behind some of the most extraordinary success stories out there. Now, as we get into this, I want you to literally forget all the typical flashy advice you hear about building wealth. Instead, we're going to look at the exact mechanics of something called the 1% rule. It sounds incredibly simple, like almost too simple to be true, right? But this one idea has absolutely transformed the lives of entrepreneurs and millionaires all over the world. Let's unpack exactly how it works, why most people just completely ignore it, and why the few who do follow it end up building some serious wealth. I want you to imagine something with me for just a second. What if becoming rich had absolutely nothing to do with luck? Seriously, what if it wasn't about earning millions overnight or hitting some massive jackpot? I know it kind of challenges everything we're conditioned to believe, but what if the real secret isn't a massive leap at all, but simply getting 1% better every single day? So, Section 1, the overnight wealth myth. Let's separate the facts from the fiction here. And this brilliantly illustrates a really crucial contrast. On one side, you've got these big, flashy opportunities, winning the lottery, landing that one in a million dream job, and honestly, those are based purely on hope. But on the flip side, you have tiny improvements, things like saving just a little bit more or learning something new this week. Real, sustainable wealth grows through these tiny improvements repeated consistently. When you stop waiting around for that big, lucky break and start focusing on the small, controllable actions, I promise you, everything shifts. Which brings us to Section 2, the 1% rule. Let's talk about small, daily progress. 1% better. Every single day. That is the entire secret. Just 1%. I mean, think about it. If you improve your financial habits by literally just 1% every day, the results, well, they don't stay small, they multiply. It's the mathematical reality of compounding. The growth curve starts flat, like almost invisible to the naked eye, but eventually it curves sharply upward. So what does this actually look like? Well, these are the tiny improvements that truly multiply over time. Saving just a little more each paycheck. It doesn't have to be half your salary, guys. Just a little more than last time. Or learning one new skill. Reading just 10 pages of a finance book right before bed. Heck, even just avoiding one single unnecessary purchase while you're browsing online or checking out at the grocery store. On their own, say on a random Tuesday, these actions seem completely insignificant. You are definitely not going to feel richer today because you read 10 pages. But over months and over years, these micro actions compound, and they completely, fundamentally change your financial future. Section 3, why our brains quit. Okay, let's dive into this because there's some heavy psychology working against the math here. Because look, if it's really this simple, why do so many of us just quit? Well, frankly, our brains love instant rewards. We are totally hardwired for that immediate payoff. When you do something that gives you a quick hit of pleasure, your brain just floods with dopamine. It feels exciting, it's fast, and it feels so good right now in this exact moment. Just look at these quick dopamine habits we all fall into. Buying something new. I mean, we all know that rush of clicking checkout and waiting for a package. Or scrolling social media. It's completely effortless and instantly entertaining. But here is the really hard truth. Investing your money, taking the time to learn a difficult new concept, or putting your cash into a savings account, those things do not give you immediate pleasure. You don't get a dopamine rush from staring at a spreadsheet. And because that reward is delayed, most people just get bored or frustrated and quit long before they ever see the real results of their efforts. But successful people, they understand something fundamentally different. They make a highly conscious choice to stop chasing those quick rewards. They trade the instant gratification of today for the profound freedom of tomorrow. They trust small daily progress. They literally trust the process of compounding, even when it feels incredibly slow, even when it feels super boring. That discipline, that unwavering trust in the unseen growth, that is the absolute essence of the 1% rule. All right, Section 4, a tale of two earners. Let's see what happens when we actually apply the rule. Okay, I want you to imagine two people, person A and person B. They are starting out with the exact same salary. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how their tiny choices map out over time. Look at day 1. Person A spends a little more every month, maybe treating themselves just a bit too often. Person B does the exact opposite. They save just a little, they learn one new skill every few months, and they invest consistently. At first, like in month 1 or 2, there is almost zero difference between them. They're driving similar cars, living in similar places. But check out year 5. Person A is completely stagnant, while person B is showing noticeable growth.
And by year 10, oh wow, the gap is massive. Person A is really struggling, while person B has built extraordinary wealth. And it is so vital to point out what actually caused this gap. The difference isn't that person B was working harder. Actually, scratch that. It's not about raw effort at all. They weren't necessarily burning the midnight oil or putting in 80-hour work weeks while person A was just being lazy. Not at all. The entire difference was simply respecting small improvements. Person B let time do all the heavy lifting for them just by trusting in those daily 1% changes. Moving on to section 5, beyond just bank accounts, because this is really about universal growth.
You see, this dedication to the tiny increment, it's really a universal law of growth. Just notice how this builds across your entire life, not just your wallet. If you improve your knowledge by 1%, your confidence grows. If you improve your discipline by just 1%, your daily habits become stronger and way more automatic. If you improve your income skills by 1%, your overall earning potential absolutely skyrockets, which of course feeds right back into your wealth building. These small actions create incredibly big outcomes, compounding across your intellect, your mindset, and your whole career.
Let's bring it all home with section 6, applying the rule today. Let's get into how you can start right now.
So the crucial point is, how do we take this from a fascinating theory to actual reality? Well, it comes down to these 5 simple habits you can start today. Number 1, track every expense. You have to know where your money is going if you want to improve it. Number 2, read about money for 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes. It's enough to shift your mindset. Number 3, invest consistently, no matter how small the amount is. Number 4, avoid emotional spending. Just take a deep breath before you hit buy. And number 5, learn one valuable skill every year. And listen, don't overwhelm yourself trying to do the whole shebang perfectly at once. Just pick one, master it, and never, ever underestimate the power of that small progress.
I really want you to take this to heart. Success isn't built in one day. It is built 1% at a time. You do not need to become rich overnight. You don't need some massive windfall or lottery ticket. You just need to commit to being slightly better than you were yesterday, day after day. That is the true secret, guys. That's how completely ordinary people go on to create truly extraordinary wealth.
So I'll leave you with this final, incredibly important question to ask yourself right now. Are you 1% better than yesterday? Seriously, think about your habits, your reading, your savings. If the answer is yes, you are already on the path. Keep going. Trust the process. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. Take these lessons and start building your extraordinary future 1% at a time.